What time is it?
Oh my goodness. Alright man. That's enough jokes for the day. This is 1,000 assholes. We just happen to be next to them.
Okay, so me and my best friend used to go into E3 every year, and what we would do, we wanted to do this shit on the cheap. We're not rich, we're not in the industry, so what we would do is we would fly into Vegas, which is always cheap, and stay there for 2 days and rent a car with unlimited mileage and drive into LA, and then stay in Chinatown, which is cheap and pretty much safe because everybody's shorter than us and we don't have to worry about drive-bys and shit like that, and attend E3 that way. And we had everything covered, food, hotel, all that. But one thing you have to worry about when you get there is fucking parking. Parking is horrible. And it's terrible to get a space, especially when the convention's going on. So what we did was we found a small lot, I mean right next to E3. It was like right next to the convention center. And we got cool with the parking lot attendant, who was this young Mexican guy. We took him out to eat and shit. And we hung out with him like part of the day. And what we did was we would leave like food and drinks and things in a cooler in the back trunk of the car for him, and for us too, because we didn't want to move the car. We'd come out, eat lunch or whatever, go back into E3, but we'd leave the keys with him, let him grab food, a sandwich, a beer or whatever from out the trunk of the fucking car, and he would let us park like every fucking day for free right by the convention center. It was cool as hell. So we went to E3, had a great fucking time.
Hey, we got bars.
Oh!
Right now, I'm recording a bunch of losers. Because this is the second day of E3, and they're just not registering. These are #1 losers. All these guys right here. That's pathetic.
Fighting the guy. You want to hug up with me? No.
Hey,
Don't take my picture.
hey,
Break that camera.
Damn girl.
you don't want to do it.
I was fighting the guy.
What was you doing? What was you doing?
I was fighting the guy.
No, I was fighting the
I was fighting the guy.
He totally bit off. He took my idea. That was hella cool.
See,
Shit.
you got down all in the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah,
I was fighting Oh man.
I saw Frank Shamrock. Did you see Frank? He was fucking bad.
He was there.
He was there. He was walking around. It was so nice.
And we
You
just...
quit fucking filming me.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
The magazine. Oh,
Hey, oh, don't go nowhere. Oh no, get him. What the hell? What?
Los Angeles.
Is he recording?
Yep.
She was fucking naked.
Sure, I'm gonna change. I just one step more. Cause I feel like coming up
Little kid catching the bubbles. I got his dumb ass on tape trying to bite a bubble.
So we come out of E3. It's our last day. We're saying goodbye to the Mexican guy, and he's like, "Hey, homies, come here. I want to show you something. I'm gonna give you something." So we go over to his booth, and he's like, "Look, man, I'm gonna give you this, but be careful, okay?" I'm like, what the fuck is this about? And he's like, "Look, I'm gonna give you some weed. Do not smoke this shit all at once. Do not." And we're like, what the fuck? This motherfucker's about to give us a pound of weed or some shit. And this motherfucker hands us a fucking tiny ass pin joint. A pin joint. And gives it to us like he's handing us the fucking Holy Grail. And he's like, "Here. Be careful. Do not smoke this shit all at once." So we play along. We're like, okay, we're gonna take this joint. Thank you so much. We will be careful. We will not smoke this all at once. As soon as we got in the car, we started laughing and we're like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? We're from fucking Detroit. We're not fucking from the fucking boonies. You know what the fuck we doing? We're from the motherfucking D. So we get in the car, we go to the gas station to fill up the car so we can take the trip back to Vegas, because we stay in Vegas for 2 days, go to LA for the convention, and go back to Vegas for one night. So we're filling up the car, and we break that fucking joint out, roll up the windows, and smoke that whole motherfucking thing. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? It's a goddamn joint. And everything was fine for like the first half an hour. It's a 5-hour drive from LA to Vegas, and about that 30-minute mark, things just got weird. I was driving and I could not talk. I couldn't take my hands off the steering wheel. It was like I was floating though. I couldn't feel the car. I couldn't feel the road. I know I was doing at least 70 because we like pinned it. It was a Suzuki Swift and that was as fast as it went. And I had the fucking gas pedal pinned. We had the windows rolled up and I couldn't move my hands off the steering wheel and I couldn't talk. And then I looked over at my buddy and he was like, "Hey, welcome to Club Napalm." He was interviewing people. He was DJing. In reality, I know that he was just playing the CD player really, really loud. But in my mind and in his mind, we were in a goddamn club. Club Napalm. There were stars coming through, artists, directors, you name it. And he was interviewing them the whole time. This is a 5-hour fucking drive. He did not stop talking the whole fucking time. A 5-hour drive. And he's interviewing people, I mean, in depth. He's like getting into their careers and shit. And DJing at the same fucking time with this loud ass music in this car with the windows rolled up. About the 3-hour mark, I started to hate him. It was like I was in this club, but I would look out to the left and I was still driving through the desert. I would look to my right and I was in this fucking club. And he was talking. He would grab my fucking arm and pull me over to people like, "Hey, you gotta meet this person. You gotta meet that person." And it fucking started irritating me. So I'm getting pissed off, more and more pissed off. And he's interviewing people and blasting the fucking music. And I can't talk. I can't tell him to stop. I can't tell him to shut the fuck up. I can't take my hands off the steering wheel. And I'm driving along. It's the desert. It's like getting dark now. And this fucking weird ass kid just rolls up to the fucking window and was like, hey, you know you're gonna have to kill him. I was like, what? It's like, he's not gonna stop talking. You're gonna have to kill him. So I turn away and I'm like looking back in the club. I'm like, fuck this. This is not happening. I look back to my right. I'm back in this fucking club with him again, which I don't want to be. So he's fucking interviewing people and people are dancing around me and I'm fucking freaking out because I can't talk and I don't want to hear this loud shit. And I look to the left and there's this freaky kid. She's like, do it. Do it. And eventually I got these things on it. I don't want to look. I can't. If I look forward, I'm still in the club. Look to the right, I'm in the club. Look to the left, freaky kid. So eventually, I'm fucking losing it, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. So I start picking out a place in the desert where I can kill him and bury him. And I get to a point where I see this nice big rock and some tumbleweeds going by, and I'm like, yeah. Nobody will know. This shit will all be over and I can have some quiet and I can talk again. And so I'm about to pull over and kill my best friend and I see these lights. It's almost like it's dark outside now, but then it's all these lights like over in the distance. It's like Close Encounters of the First Kind or some shit, like just like these little lights, like, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's the fucking lights of Las Vegas sitting in the middle of fucking nothing. And I'm like, oh my God. Thank God I don't have to kill this motherfucker. So we get to Vegas. I let this motherfucker off the hook. I should have killed him. I should have buried his ass. We get to fucking Vegas. I fall out the car. I still can't talk, but my hands at least came off the steering wheel. I fall out the car onto the ground. This motherfucker goes running down the street. I don't know where he went. And the next thing I remember, we were staying at a hotel called Circus in Vegas. And the next thing I remember, we were on one of the top floors, and I was on the ledge of the hotel, sitting on a ledge with a hippie chick smoking cigarettes. Now, anybody that knows me knows I never smoke. Think smoking stupid. And I'm afraid of fucking heights. I don't even do roller coasters. I don't fuck with that shit. But I'm on the ledge of this hotel. Yes, the windows in Circus open all the way. You can climb out and sit on a fucking ledge. I was sitting on the ledge with a fucking hippie. I turned around and my best friend was in the hotel room partying with a bunch of Puerto Ricans. I don't know what the fuck. So anyway, I don't know if this is a pro-drug. Shut up, cat. Hey, baby. So anyway, I don't know if this is pro-drug or against drugs, but that's my story. True story. Peace.